lovely readers and supporters out there. This is the reading that I promised you that I was going to do, and it's got several kind of purposes to it. I'm doing it now because of the giveaway we just have with the Timekeepers reading, because everybody, like, I think the last time I put up a competition for a reading, there was only a few people that actually wanted to win one, and this time it was just like full on. There were so many people that kind of really needed just a little bit of universal guidance, or a little bit of a kick up the ass, or a little bit of a prep talk. So I thought I'll do that reading I've been going to do, because I wanted to do a video reading so that people can get an idea of what it's like to actually get a video reading from me. And so this is what I would normally do. I would usually, or if you want to gift it to someone, I sort of do a message up front of the video, sort of to tell you about what's coming up, and you know, give you a special message. And yeah, so that's how it starts. And this particular reading, what I'm going to do is have 4 different crystals. They're all gorgeous for you to choose from. And what I will do is this reading that I will put up here, for each one of those crystals. So what you can do is pick which crystal resonates with you, and I'll give you a reading with the cards that come up that I draw under that crystal. Now in a second, I'll do what is usually the second part of video reading, is that I have all the packs and everything laid out. So I'll explain what tarots I'm using. I'll also explain the crystals, a little bit about them. And then when we actually go into the reading, I'll tell you more about the crystal, and I'll actually read the cards that came up with that crystal, and that will be the answer to your question or the guidance that you're looking for. So yeah, so we'll have this. I will do the bit with the cards, and you can watch me draw them, but what I think I'll do is I'll just show you, because when I shuffle, cards actually jump out. I wait for the jumpers, okay, because I feel like they're the ones I'm meant to read. So I'll do an example of one for you, but so this video doesn't get too damn long, it's going to be quite long as it is, because of all the different ones. I'll just show you, give you one example, and I'll do the rest off camera. But of course you'll get all the cards when we get to your section of whichever crystal that you picked. I will put timestamps below, so if you just want to skip to yours, or you want to skip the shuffle, or you want to skip the explanations and just go straight to the reading, you can do that. All the timestamps are just below. So that's what it's all about, and thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you find this helpful. Enjoy. Hello everyone, and welcome to this lunar eclipse reading that is going to be for the next 6 months. And what you get to do is choose which crystal or cluster really is speaking to you. Now, I've got several different ones here, and I'm going to explain to you what they are, and then I will split it into sections. So firstly, we have this beautiful hunk here that I can't even pick up to show you because it is just too huge, but I'll take a really good picture of it so you can see it at the beginning of the reading. Now, it's a Celestite crystal. Now, from what I learned, because some of these were my mother's, I inherited them, and this was one of them, because I would not be crazy enough to buy a geo like this. Like, don't know how much it's worth. Quite a lot of money. I don't know that they still mine them anymore. I think they're quite rare, but don't quote me on that. But this is an Celestite. It's a very spiritual crystal. I'll tell you more about it when I actually do the readings, because I want you to be able to pick on just feel. Okay, so this is an Celestite. Now this is of course a quartz that goes with this beautiful piece of geo here, and I'll say they're a matching set because I don't know if you can see this, but see this little pink, see it's got a little pink matching piece. So I think they were cut from the same cluster, these two. So that's the quartz. This, of course, is Amethyst, and it's actually two separate pieces. I keep them together. This one, of course, is the cluster, and this is, whoops, dragon. See, I've got two dragons. There's a baby one over here. It's just hatching out of an egg, and a big dragon up here. And so that's the Amethyst cluster. And then this is an amber cluster with a little amber crystal ball that I sit inside it. So there are your four choices. And the cards that we're going to use today for the main reading, as in what's going on at this time or what you're going to be looking at in the next 6 months, we're going to use the Enchanted Map Oracle cards because I love these cards. I think they're really descriptive and very beautiful, and they're very good for giving kind of like an overall picture. And then as a clarifying card, I'm going to pull one from Sovereign Oracle, which is just one of my favorites because it is very specific. Like there's the answers are very specific from this one, so it makes a great clarifying card. Then I'm going to let some drop out of the pack or come flying out from the light seers. I'll show you what happens in a second. And just as many fall out. It's kind of like, okay, tell me the story of what's going to happen. So then what I'll do is I'll look at those cards and they'll speak to you. They'll tell you a little story. So that's kind of the story of what's going to progress over this 6 months. And then for some advice, sort of outcome card, I'm going to pull you one from the Wisdom of the Tao, which are just so insightful. So yeah, this is what we're going to do. And so now I'll just set up to show you how I do a shuffle and how I let the cards fall. And yeah, and then we'll move on to the readings. So have a good look and see what really speaks to you. Hello again, and this is an example of what we're doing for a shuffle. Now, this reading is one that I do for myself quite often when I have a specific question, because I can ask a question, get it clarified, tell me a bit of a story about what's going on and give me some advice or an outcome. Okay, so this is what we're doing. This is the Enchanted Map Oracle, which I love to use. It's one of my favorites. And I just go for one card. That's 3. Oh, Jesus, they're jumping out very quickly. Good. Okay, now I would normally, if I was doing your private reading, I would show you what the card is. Okay, but I'm not going to do that in this case because I want you to choose first and then get your reading. Okay, so we would do that. That is the, oh God, they're flying out today. I'm going to tell us everything. Okay. Right. So then we pick a clarifying card. That's 2. The gifts and sovereignty are both pretty good. Let's go. Jumping to see. Haha. Here we have 1. Let's see what it is. And this is why I'm not going to do all these shuffles on here either. Now with these, tell me a story. It's just I'll shuffle 1 time through and it'll just give me as many cards as it does. Okay, I might do more than 1 just in this case because usually, oh Jesus, that's a bit much. Just a few, okay? Tell us a story about what's happening with the Celestite crystal people. All right. So that's 3. And, sorry, my cards are falling all over the floor. And then we'll have 1 from the Wisdom of the Tao as a clarifier. Just give us 1. Can I have an outcome, please? Some additional advice for the Celestite group. And I just keep going at it. There we go. Oh, it's 2. I'm just going to pick the one on top. Okay. There we go. So that is what the reading is going to look like. And then we're going to go through it. Now, I'm not going to put these cards back in the deck, so every reading will be entirely different. No repeated cards. So this is the reading for the Celestite people. I'm going to go ahead and do the other 3, and you can just jump ahead to whichever crystal that you pick. See you there. So the crystal that you picked was Celestite or Celestine. It's this beautiful pale blue color, and it was actually named from the Latin word celestis, meaning celestial, which was inspired by the beautiful shades of blue. This mineral is associated with divine power. It's thought to increase understanding, higher consciousness, as well as mindfulness. So having been attracted to this particular mineral, I would think that you're probably playing the peacemaker. It's very peaceful. So you're either playing the peacemaker or you're chasing a little bit more peace and quiet over the next 6 months. It's very spiritual. It's like, so a bit of meditation might be in order, and I know some people find that difficult, so even if it's just sitting quietly with a cup of tea somewhere beautiful, just taking that time to attach to spirit, I think that's probably what you're chasing. It's associated with the third eye and wisdom, and it's for balance. Also good for intuition, perception, imagination, good memory, dream recall. So the next 6 months, I think you could be being inspired to do something, perhaps being mused, but you need to find a beautiful, quiet, peaceful place to do that. Let's have a look at your cards. So for the current situation, part of your reading, from the Enchanted Map Oracle cards, I pulled the card Slow and Steady, and the clarifying card for that is Gratitude. So slow and steady, obviously, slow and steady wins the race, right? This is probably not the most exciting reading among these ones, but it's definitely the calmest path for the next 6 months. This card is just asking you to take easy movement, unhurried steps, have a steady heart, trust that you're going the right way. Taking life at a more leisurely pace will give you greater access to your dreams. And that's what I was talking about with the crystal as well, like that spiritual, just sitting quietly, because you're being mused. You know, there's times for moving forward and making progress and making money. This time, over the next 6 months, you're being mused, just slowing down to allow more contact with the juicier elements of your life. It's time to savor a little bit. It's interesting because I'm calling this reading the 3x3, because this is the triple 3 reading, because this card Slow and Steady is a 12, but 1 and 2 is 3, and you've got 2 other 3s coming up in the tell a story part. Now, triple 3 in angel numbers and messages is called the support. Help is on the way. Your spirit guides are all around you. So there's a lot of spirit coming in. I mean, that's what this crystal was all about, that connection with spirit. So you need to slow down and make that connection. Gratitude, notice your supports, appreciate your own willingness to do the work. Give thanks for all that is coming your way. And also in the story part of this reading, that's exactly what it says. You can use different mediums, but when the universe has a message, it will bring it through in every single one of them, and it certainly does for this Celestite reading. But now let's go and have a look at the story part of this. So for the story part of this reading from the Lightseers Tarot, 3 cards came out for the Celestite. The first is the 3 of Pentacles upright, the second is the Queen of Swords reversed, and the third is the 3 of Cups upright. So there's the other 2 threes, the 3 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups. So I'm getting very much the vibe of a group of people working together on something, or people working under you on something. But it's definitely about powerful magic being woven with teamwork. It's about doing your work, doing it well, doing it diligently, plodding along, getting along with the people that you're working with and making progress. This first card, the 3 of Pentacles, the mantra for this card is, I step into the vibration of conscious collaboration. So this speaks to the whole slow and steady, having gratitude for where you're at, and weaving that into whatever you're doing. Like over the next 6 months, I'd say the people that pick the Celestite have the easiest run, but it's not the most exciting, but it will be very, like, speaks of beautiful slow progress, provided that this Queen of Swords does not throw a spanner in the works, because she's in reverse. And that's about someone being sort of cold in communication, or maybe a little bit sharp with their tongue, or reprimanding people. So it's very good to kind of refrain from being mean or getting emotional or impatient with the people that you're working with, or being aloof or kind of bitter, because it takes away from that beautiful conscious collaboration, that beautiful teamwork, and kind of makes it, it kind of sours the energy, and you don't want that. Because the third card that comes out is this 3 of Cups, and as you can see, these girls have their arms around each other. They're very supportive of each other. This is friendships and abundance and cooperation and community, closeness. It's kindred. It's those soulmates that you have in your life, that you've got soul contracts with. And this card is upright, and its mantra is, I connect into this sacred sisterhood and to this expansive experience of witnessing through time. Because these are the people that are coming through life with you and supporting you, and you're supporting each other. It's really, really beautiful, the whole message of this next 6 months. I think that there's beautiful things happening. Sorry if you can hear the rain outside, it's absolutely pouring, but it's kind of a nice atmosphere for this. But yeah, definitely this collaboration, this of 3, I don't know if there's 3. It certainly looks like there's 3 of you. That's what the cards are talking about. But you might be in a position of authority, which hence this Queen of Swords, whose mantra is, I speak with wisdom and clarity. So that's something to keep in mind through this process. And we'll have a little look at the outcome and advice card. So the outcome or advice card for the Celestite people is walk away. And it says, let go of burdens and worries, surrender your ego and walk away. Feel the freedom and enlightenment as you rise above petty matters. Follow your inner quest and luxuriate in well-deserved peace of mind. And again, that's about, letting go of petty things, letting them slip by. You don't need to go to that level. If something goes wrong, explain yourself clearly and always be coming from a place of love. I know that's very hard sometimes when you've been tired or you've got unnecessary burdens, but a little bit of empathy and compassion goes a long way. So kind of rise above that rapid daily tempo, reconnect to the earth, and you're going to just be in a better place, really. This whole 6 months for you is about, slow and steady, even keel, not going one way, walking the middle path, as the Taoists would say, which is not getting overexcited, not getting over frustrated, just being on that nice observer mode, getting the work done, bring the joy to this threesome. Not threesome, I didn't mean it like that, but this triple three, whatever that is or whatever that means to you. But I think that you're going to find great success through keeping the harmony, keeping the compassion, and just keep doing the good work. So the crystal that you picked was amber, and it is a very protective stone. It's used to ward off negative energies and to shield from harm. It's brilliant for illness and injury, like vitality, restoring vitality and giving sort of energy to the system. As a love crystal, amber is like a symbol of beauty and tenderness. It's a good talisman for increasing natural radiance and attracting lasting love. It's believed to kind of electrify desire, as it were. And it's also a very good rubbing stone if you want to get rid of negative moods or to relieve anxiety, deflecting bad energy from other people also. So that you've been attracted to amber would sort of indicate that maybe you're just feeling like not defensive, but maybe you just need to kind of just protect yourself from others a little bit, and shield yourself from their negativity. Maybe a little bit of that kind of observer energy where you're kind of not so much affected by the things that are around you. Let's have a look at what the cards have to say. So for the current situation, and bear in mind this is the current situation where we're at now, before we go on the story of the next 6 months, it's talking about commitment. The two cards that came up were commitment, and as a clarifying card we've got birth. So the commitment card is saying that a true commitment is a responsibility of the heart, mind, body and soul, and it's a good time to make a commitment like that. It says that partnerships formed at this time are harmonious and powerful. The commitment card also has the natural evolution of a relationship from its inception to like a marriage. So it's the progression of partnerships and so forth. You must be conscious, however, of what you're committing to. Be clear about the nature of your commitment. So yes, the protection I was talking about with amber and that being in observation mode, like I think with partnerships or relationships, when you've got two independent people within a relationship, it's much stronger as so far as you are whole within yourself and you are enough for yourself, and being with the next person is not essential to you, but it enhances you, it empowers you, but you could do it alone, either one of you, and that makes a fantastic relationship. It doesn't mean that the other person is irrelevant to you, not at all. It just means that you're not sucking on their energy to get what you want. Okay, you're both generating your own energy. That's the kind of commitment this is talking about. There's also the birth, like I would call this reading, the one for Amber, the birth of a dream. There's a birth of a dream of some kind, and it's got to do with a partnership, but independent entities within a partnership, although it could be starting out solo. This is very much, or you could be doing it as a partnership, okay? This could go either way. I'm just looking ahead to the story here. But the birth card says, find your sacred creative womb space, whether it's time, tools, or literal space. Seek the appropriate midwife. Trust the process. All will be revealed in due time. Now that appropriate midwife, it could be a tool, or it could be setting aside the time to do whatever it is that's going to move you forward. But as I said, it could be you, or it could be you and a partner. This one, more than any of the other readings so far, is kind of talking to a bit of a partnership as well. But let's have a look at the story, and that will explain things a little bit further. So for the Tell Me a Story part of this reading from the Lightseers Tarot deck, 4 cards came out for Amber, and they are the Magician reversed, the 8 of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Star. Now, the story here is, because the Magician is the Magician, he's the first card of the major arcana, he has all the tools he needs to get whatever it is that he desires, because he's got the magic. However, he came out reversed. So this here in the beginning is talking about unused potential, sort of latent talents that aren't being developed. There could be some manipulation in the current situation, or selfishness, or unfocused or blocked creative energy. And because the Magician is about, you know, I can manifest the desire I want through energy and action, he's saying that, yeah, there's something going to waste here. And because the previous cards were commitment and birth, it's kind of like, you know that there's this potential there, but you have to commit to it, and you have to commit to birthing it. Because the next card is the 8 of Cups, and the 8 of Cups is about letting go, releasing everything that doesn't serve you anymore. It's time to move on from the stuck energy, walk away, leave your old reality, pursue a new one. And it's not like you're disappointed about this, it's just like you're over it, you know, you're just ready to leave it behind now. I walk away from negativity and I choose myself. That's what this card is saying. You know, I choose to back me. I chose to back me a long time ago, and I have never looked back. It was a very scary thing, but at the same time, in the times we're in, I think backing yourself is really the best way to go, because it does really give you more stability. You're not relying on somebody else, because really in this life the only person we can rely on is ourselves, which is why I was talking about in the commitment situation, once you collapse yourself into something, you've got an Achilles heel, really. And I think even if you are in a journey with someone, you have to learn to be your own support, because that's how you maintain the stability of the structure of what you're building. You have to be a good support. You just don't, rely on the other parts of the structure to keep you going. And you also have to learn to make your own decisions. So then the next card that comes up is the Knight of Pentacles, and he is the most diligent of the knights. He works hard, he's determined, he's steadfast. He builds like a material security and safety, being pragmatic and expansive, but he takes his time. You can see he's off his horse and he's walking along. He's not speeding along like the Knight of Wands is, or he's not coming bearing gifts like the Knight of Cups. And he's not, being hostile like the Knight of Swords. He's just taking his time, doing his own thing, being his own person. And that's really what this card is asking you to do. Seed by seed, I plant my future with my rock steady foundations. So then the last card we have is the Star. Now, this is expectations fulfilled, wishes granted, opportunities, healing after traumatic events, knowing you're on the right path, inspiration, renewed hope. I expect miracles. That's what this card is all about. So you've gone from, having undeveloped potential and not believing you have the tools to expecting miracles. Because that's the journey that the next 6 months is all about. It's about leaving behind even the doubts, and the negativity, and moving forward and backing yourself, and taking a slow and pragmatic approach. Don't put yourself in a position where everything is relying on this. What you want to do is take pressure off what you're trying to create. If you've got to do other stuff in the background, do it. But this is about the birth of a dream, okay? You're birthing a dream right now, and you're going to take slow and steady steps towards it, and you will get that miracle. That Star card, this is the card of success. I got what I wanted, and it's usually very, very a creative kind of success. Now, this could just be you. It could be you and your partner embarking on this journey together and deciding you're going to back yourself. But I think the next 6 months are going to be very exciting and world building. But let's have a look at the outcome card. So the outcome card that I pulled for Amber from the Wisdom of the Tao, for the outcome stroke advice. And I believe in this case, it is more advice. I don't think this is an outcome. This is talking about where you're at right now. It's the Temptation card, Pitfall. And it says, the desire for excessive gain and accumulation leads to misfortune. The greatest contentment is in knowing when you have enough, and all temptation is banished. Escape from the trap that imprisons you. Refuse to be a victim. Be free. Now, this is really, really interesting considering what we're saying here. This card is a sharp warning against letting your ego run away with you, or not being self-aware, because when you're self-aware, you can correct what's going on. But what this is warning against is like, maybe you're staying where you are because it's offering you a lot of security, financial freedom, or excess, as it were. But maybe you don't need that much, and you would be happier without as much doing what you love. That's certainly when I was starting my journey to becoming a writer, that was certainly true. I was afraid of giving up the job and taking on full-time writing, but I've never looked back, and I'm more self-dependent, and that's worth more to me than being very rich.
you know, because I mean, authors these days, we were heading on a road to be very rich, but then ebooks happened and it kind of took the bottom out of the market completely, because now there's so much piracy and everything that goes on. So you really do lose a lot of royalties, but still, I would not go back for working for somebody else. I will find other means to continue working for myself. I'm much happier actually doing what makes me feel fulfilled. So I have a feeling that that is what this card is trying to say to you. It's warning you not to be unaware of what's going on. You know, physical temptations can make you vulnerable. Understand that there is no reason to become enslaved, and maybe that's just what's keeping you where you are. There's an old Chinese proverb that says, retreat a single step and see a broad sky and a majestic ocean. Take that step now so that you can see the options. Walk out of a trap while you still can. You know, seek help and guidance. So that's what the advice is for this card. I think that you need to be a little bit brave and back yourself and know that you are protected when you are following your gut, doing what inspires you. Listen to those little voices in your head and take that journey. It's asking you to do it now over the next 6 months, and you are going to transform from a magician who doesn't know he has any power to being a star. So the stone that you were attracted to is the amethyst cluster with the dragon. So dragon energy obviously is very strong, it's very solitary, but the amethyst is very powerful protective stone, and dragon energy definitely has that protection thing about it as well. The stunning colors have made this, like, you know, a stone that's been well sought after all through the centuries, but it promotes cleansing, protection, inspiration. It's really wonderful if you've got like a migraine or you need to relax. It's very sedative and calm, very protective, and that's why, because when you're in a calm state, you are you feel protected, you feel safe. So I think maybe for the next 6 months, if this is the one that you've been attracted to, is you're looking for a little bit of security, a little bit of stability, a little bit of calm and health. It's a natural tranquilizer, so if you need more rest, could be that you need more rest the next 6 months. It activates spiritual awareness, so look within over the next 6 months. Enhances sobriety if you're looking to sort of drink less, get healthy, that kind of thing. Wonderful for insomnia, again, if you need to sleep. Hormone production, boosting the immune system, guards against psychic attack, and in ancient times, it was also thought to attract money because, of course, purple was associated with royalty and the higher ups. So you could be attracting a little bit of wealth over the next 6 months, or looking to do so, maybe with investments and things like that. And coming from a calm space, if you're looking to invest or anything like that, being calm and not panicking is key, because you make far better decisions that way. Okay, So let's have a look at what your cards have got to say. So for this current situation part of the reading, and do note that this is the current situation, okay? Things are going to progress and change over the next 6 months. Actually, you've got a major change coming in this next 6 months. There's a complete swing around, but at the moment you're not feeling it. The first card you got was stuck in the mud, upside down. Okay, now this is asking you, stuck in the mud as a card is asking you to stop and savor the wonder of life. It's like sometimes becoming stuck is the only way you stop and look around. That's what the card is saying. That you need to shift your focus away from what you're doing and put your attention elsewhere. Struggling will only get you sort of more stuck in the mud. You need to be in flow. This is what this message is because sometimes we get so caught up in what we want and the way we want it that we block out all the other opportunities. We're resisting. The only way to get what you want is to take whatever is happening in your life right now and make like you chose it. Work with it. Don't work against anything. Don't close your mind to the possibilities of anything, because then you lose all your choices. And I think you're due for a complete turnaround. Other cards that come up in this reading are saying that. They are also saying, don't worry, you're really protected. Okay, including, it was so interesting, I always say that when I pick cards, I can pick from all different oracle decks, tarot decks, mediums, runes, crystals, and they will all come through with the same message. And the main message for this particular stone would be, there's big changes coming, but don't worry, you are protected. And the clarifying card for the current situation was Spirit. It says, connect to your highest good. Remember that you are an eternal being in a physical body. Call on your otherworldly support. Everything you truly need is at your disposal. But I think right at this very, very minute, you're not really feeling that or seeing that. There's maybe things distracting you, or you're just being stubborn and not looking up. So that's the current situation. Let's move on to the story, and that will clarify things a little bit as to what's going to happen next. So, for the tell me the story part of the reading, there was 4 cards that came out from the Lightseer's deck. The first one was the 4 of Wands reversed. The second one was the Tower. The third one was the Sun, and the fourth one was the World. Now, this is a pretty clear story. At the moment, as I said, feeling a bit stuck, and the reason is that you're supposed to be having like this celebration of prosperity and what's important and kindred, but with it coming out reversed, it's sort of saying that you're forgetting the importance of the little things, that you're getting caught up in the drama, you've got a bit of a lack of harmony going on, and you're feeling disconnected with what's going on. But the second card that came out was the Tower card, and this is getting struck by lightning, unexpected change, feeling like the rug's getting pulled from beneath you, being a bit unsure of who you are. Now, let's just review that. In the first place, it's asking you to do is to stop, like the first cards, be a bit appreciative, be grateful of where you are right now. Have a look around, because everything you need is right in front of you, but you're missing it. So you need to stop and have some fun, because maybe it's somebody within your family, group of friends has got a solution for you. But if you don't take the time to stop and relax and listen, you won't find it. Now, that first card, the mantra of the first card is, I am devoted to my connectedness. I celebrate the wonder of loving bliss with my community. So that's what you need to do to get out of being stuck in the mud. Okay, now the second card, in chaos I move forward in the brightest light. That's the Tower. So you need this transformation to get back on track to where you're supposed to be going. Like, this is what the universe does when you're not going the right way and you're not listening and you're not bringing your head up. It'll just whack you with something so that you're forced to relook at the situation, relook at things. But you have protection going for you, and there's further cards coming on to confirm that. So you don't need to be afraid of what's going on. You've got to let go and be in flow. Now, because the next card, the Sun, is about being inspired, feeling joy, success, abundance, fulfillment, exuberant creativity, positivity, manifesting dreams. Yes, and that's where the Spirit card comes in. Through this moving forward, this being in flow, you will get in touch with the essence of you and where you're supposed to be going, and it's going to lead you to a really great place. I am whole, I am more than enough, I shine like the sun when I am happy. This is the thing, get happy no matter what's going on in your life. That's going to be really important for you over the next 6 months, and it's going to attract more of what you need. Now, the last card is the World. This is completion, joy, wholeness, achievement, happy endings, all of that sort of thing. You know what? This is one of the most positive cards in the whole tarot deck. It is the end in the cycle of self-transformation. And this is what I mean. You've got a big change, big transformation coming up. Don't be afraid of it. You are so protected. This card, the mantra of this card is, I accept this gift of completion. I ascend to new levels of awareness and wholeness. I am love. Now, that is a great story. Let's have a look at the outcome card. So for the outcome advice card, the card that came out for this section from Wisdom of the Tao for the Amethyst was Protection, Earth, Mount Tai. And this card is just confirming everything that was just said. Like Mount Tai, it is there. No one can change it. It is solid and immovable. So there is something heading towards you that is supposed to happen. You need to be calm and let the power of the earth element ground you. Because what's coming up, this transformation may seem stressful. Don't panic. Just step back and give yourself some breathing room. Remember that this is meant to happen. This is the universe putting you back on the right trajectory. Earth element is grounding. It is stable. It's going to put you on really good ground. So even if you feel like the ground is shifting beneath your feet right now, where you're going, whatever this transformation is going to put you in very, very good stead. If you're panicking at all, I would immediately go to the backyard barefoot and stand in the earth. Stick your hands in the ground. You know, my characters do it. I've had a couple of characters do it in this present past. That was how Murden got rid of all his, Taliesin got rid of all his anger. Murden made him stick his fingers in the ground. Do you remember that? It actually works, grounding you, and you can actually release all your negative energy, and just the earth can take it because it is protective, and it is going to help you define clear boundaries, get rid of clutter, get out of that state of being overworked, tired, constantly worried. That is what is coming. You're going to a much, much better place over the next 6 months. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a ride, and that's what I mean. When you try to swim against the tide, you exhaust yourself. But if you just let go and trust spirit and trust the universe has your back, you are just going to flow into this new way of being, or this new opportunity, lifestyle, romance, whatever it is you're looking for. You're getting taken in the right direction. Just trust it. So the stone that you picked was quartz with this beautiful magenta geo underneath it, and I'll come to that in a second. But let's talk about the quartz first. It was once believed by the ancients to be eternal ice sent by the heavenly gods. There was lots of magical powers associated with quartz in like ancient Roman, Egyptian, Greek civilizations. They use quartz as, a potent talisman. The word quartz is actually thought to have come from a German word that comes from a Greek word, crystallos, which means ice. So it's dating back to that, that eternal ice sent by the gods thing. The ancient Japanese actually believed it was like the breath of the white dragon, and it was regarded as representing perfection. Quartz crystal, it also has, it's a healing stone. It has an ability to balance and harmonize, but it's very energetic. I don't know if you've ever walked around with a quartz or in your pocket or whatever. It's kind of like, if you need to go run a marathon, it'd be really good to have quartz crystal with you. Okay, it's got that kind of energy, really, really high vibration. But let's have a talk about magenta as well, because this beautiful magenta color here, it's very spiritual color. It's the color of change, transformation. It's helping with compassion and kindness, cooperation, self-respect, gentle and caring kind of approach. It's a very cheerful, happy color. It makes you feel fantastic to wear. It's not one of my colors, but I absolutely love being around it. It's not a color that I could wear, but I look good in it. It's funny, but it's the color of the nonconformist, the free spirit. So that would explain that. So I think if you've been attracted to this quartz and magenta geo combination, you're got a lot of energy this next 6 months, and it's going to be channeled into good works, mainly to do with, well, not just gently caring for yourself, but it's got acceptance, tolerance, support, patience. So I think you might be working with other people to help them out as well. So maybe you're kind of being a mentor to others, or others are looking up to you because you're coping with things well, and they want to be able to cope with things well as well. So that's all about the stone. Let's have a look at what your cards have to say. So for the current situation in this reading, you've got your eye on a prize. Now, if I was going to name this reading, as in the quartz reading, it would be focusing your magic, because you have been through the, say, apprentice phase of whatever's going on in your life. You've had a lesson truly learned, and it's crystallized as earned wisdom. All you need is to know that you've got everything you need for the success you're seeking. This wisdom is going to allow you to recognize traps on the road. You know familiar patterns. You know what you want to avoid. This card enables you to kind of gather information quickly along your journey. It helps you to recognize your allies, you know, the best routes to take. You're at a place where you know the right things to do and choices to make, basically, is what this card is saying. And you've got the magic. You've learned that as well, like how to focus that magic. And interesting that the clarifying card is focus. So make a choice and take the appropriate next action. What you desire is worth your attention. Remove the distraction. Put your intention into motion with thought and aligned effort. So this is where this focusing your magic is coming in. Let's have a look at the story that's going to play out over the next 6 months as you do that. So for the tell me a story part of the reading, you have 3 cards come out here, and the first was the 5 of Cups in reverse, the second was the Lovers, and the third was the Knight of Wands. Now this tells a bit of a story for sure. What the 5 of Cups is usually about is about being disillusioned. You may notice in this card you've got a girl sitting there and she's just pouring the water down into this hole, like, you know, it's not really that important because she's a bit bored with everything. She's got all these other cups spilt, but right behind her there's another cup and it's like magic, but she's not seeing it because she's focusing on all this stuff she doesn't want. Now this card came out upside down, and it's saying that to move on, or to be able to focus your magic, like I was talking about, you need to be letting go of past trauma, spilt milk, you know, anything that's kind of bringing out your shadow side. You need to be letting go of the old stories you used to tell yourself about how callous the world is, or how hard everything is, or whatever. Let that all go. Don't become jaded. Magic doesn't happen when you're jaded. Okay, it's got to be water off a duck's back, is what we're talking about here, because the mantra of this card is my tender heart helps me navigate towards my bright future. So you have to keep that heart tender so that the magic can happen. So despite anything that's happened in the past, going into this 6 months, you need to let it all go, whatever you've got to do that. You know, if you've got to go stand on a mountain and yell, doesn't matter. That's what you need to do. Now, of all the readings, you got the Lovers card. Now, this could either mean that, yes, there could be a romantic relationship coming, but that's really more other cards in the tarot. The Lovers is really more about making a choice between, say, you know, a married life and single life. You've got to give up something here to get what you want. It could be, you know, a choice in a friend, like letting go of a friend who's not really helping you anymore, who's bringing you down maybe, and to give up the friend, you actually get that self-confidence back. It does, in a shadow sense, it talks about giving away your power and stuff like that, but because this card is upright, I think it's very healthy. I think you need to maybe put up some healthy boundaries. But it does talk about soulmates also. You could have someone coming in who's going to help you focus your magic. Just don't get distracted. If it's romantic and that's not what you've got your attention on right now, if it's something else, and I think it might be, considering the next card, try not to be distracted by this soulmate. Soulmates don't usually come in to be, the be-all end-all love of your life. They usually come in to push your boundaries or to steer you in the right direction or give you the right connection to get where you want to go. Now, the mantra of this card is, my heart is open to deeply meaningful relationships, and I expand into this union with loving trust. So this could be a partnership, but again, it could just be a choice that you need to make that's going to give you those healthy boundaries to become the Knight of Wands, because the Knight of Wands has charisma and passion. They're got spontaneity. They're into pursuing their dreams. That it's fast energy, enthusiasm. Things are happening really, really quickly. It's about being way ahead of the rest. So in focusing your magic, you are going to start producing, you're going to start manifesting what it is you want, and that fires you up like nothing else on earth. When things start going right, you can do anything. There's no more wantonness. This is just fire, having a good time, being your own solo free spirit. The mantra of the Knight of Wands is, in pursuit of the imagined, I manifest this fire with the infectious feelings of inspiration. And inspiration seems to be another theme that is running through this particular reading. Now let's take a look at the outcome. So for the outcome advice card from the Wisdom of the Tao, I picked intuition, the dog, and this is talking about how you're going to manifest this magic. It's also talking about companionship. So the dog is loyal and faithful and true. They make the best friends. They're your sense of fairness and honor. They also go after what they want, this card is asking you to step outside of your small circle of friends because you have a strong need for companionship. So this could very well be, like that Lovers card could very well be actually sparking up a relationship, if that's where your magic is wanting you to go. Or you could just get one in the bargain, like while you're manifesting what it is you want over the next 6 months, you could just bump into this person. Dogs do love company as well. So there's a good serving of sort of earning respect and friendship and love in this card. It's fearless. It's believing in the ideas that are going to benefit you, being flexible, being in flow, and adopting to changes are going to help you manifest what it is. So if you've been disappointed in either a passion you're chasing, or or love, or career, focus your magic on what it is you want and don't be distracted from it. And if it is relationships, or if people are coming in to help you, you've got to let them do it and know that this time it's going to be different. This time you're going to land in a really good place. And as the card says, trust your instincts. You have a clear vision of things to come and you are being guided. Continue to use that sense of future to direct your current path. Unfold your spiritual acumen and be open to needed changes. You are headed in the right direction.